Alongside the man they call Beef Stu Sutherland. If you check his IG bio, his aspiration is to be a mediocre IFBB pro. We were speaking to Stu after prejudging. Certainly not mediocre. How did you feel up there?
Good. I kind of going into it, I didn't want to make any predictions, right? But I figured it would probably be me and Tonio. I didn't, the two of us are kind of apples and oranges. I didn't really know how we would compare, but a lot of people have him in first right now. See what happens tonight, but I'm pleased with how I look over the course of the last couple days. Kind of taper everything down and bringing in food. My look just kind of improved over the course of a few days, and I'm happy with how I.
Of course, I leave my ringer on, and Dave Palumbo calling right there and then.
Hey, Dave.
But let's talk about the game plan coming into the show. Obviously, competing in Tampa last year, but this obviously a different level in terms of the New York Pro, the prestige, everything that comes along with it. You had some time to prep for the show. What was the plan coming into the New York Pro?
So I knew I was going to be about 5-6 pounds heavier. I was more like 4. I was about 250 on stage this year. Just a good little jump. I was about 246 last year at the USA's. That was 9 months ago. So I made some progress in some of the things I needed to work on, like my arms, my back a bit. I was pretty because Tony has a wicked back. Yeah. He has wicked back shots, and I was pretty happy with how I look like next to him. I don't know if I beat him in those, but I didn't get blown out of the water like I thought I would. So I was happy with the progress I made there. But for a guy like me, it's like just kind of year after year, you got to make incremental progress, a couple pounds here and there. I think I'm done with the whole 20-pound jumps between shows at this point. I just don't need to. So I just keep on working on the stuff that sucks and keep the rest good.
Well, certainly some of the observations is talking to a lot of the people in the auditorium that you take up a lot of space on the stage, and I think that was a consistent remark. And there is such a stark contrast between yourself and Tony, who brings a much more, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but in a streamlined physique. You seem to have a little bit more width. When you look at your lineup, the competition, how much of that factors into your prep, and how much of that factors into what it is that you're looking to bring on stage?
Well, I thought going into this, Carlos was going to be like the guy to beat here, and I think everybody did too. He ended up dropping out of the show, but Tonio was originally not even going to do this. He was just going to do Cali next weekend, but he jumped in here because he was ready and in shape, and he might get the W here. Like I said, my game is like put on a couple pounds a year in the right spots and continue to try and get better. I don't have, bells and whistles like a guy like Tonio has. I don't have the crazy muscle bellies. I don't have the, the deep abs and all that cool stuff. But, width and muscularity and conditioning can take you a pretty long way in the pro league, I think. And that's, I just got to keep on getting better at what I'm good at. I was quite pleased over the course of the last couple of days as the plan kind of played out. How I wake up a little drier and a little better each day, a little bit fuller, and finally landed right where we wanted to be this morning. So Blue's the man. He guided me into this perfect. So
take us behind the curtain a little bit, only because we generally don't speak to competitors after prejudging, and we definitely appreciate you taking the time to do this. But what are some of the fine points? What are some of the adjustments that you can make, or some of the little things that you will do between now and, I'd say, about 3.5 hours till finals?
So I just finished a little bit ago, like a proper solid meal with like beef, rice, potato. Right before I get on stage, like the morning of, I'll have like one solid meal like that, and then I basically just start grazing on junk food. For me, at least, I need to get a lot of pretty dense carbs in me, and then have a bit of fat in there so I don't, get crazy blood sugar fluctuations and it actually sticks to me. And that's basically what I was eating all morning, Rice Krispie treats, peanut butter and kind of bullshit, So I'll probably have, I had my solid meal after prejudging. That should keep things pretty steady, fullness-wise. I'm going to keep water low or cut off. Actually, I had a little bit to drink right afterwards. And, when we get closer to finals, probably start throwing in that junk food again and kind of just repeat the process from the morning. But once we're done with this, I'm going to take some pictures, send it to Blue, get on the phone with him, and he'll tell me what to do, so I don't have to think about it, which is nice.
Finally, last thing, just again, put this into perspective. Competing at the New York Pro, obviously, you and I had a chance to speak at Bev's gym, so you had an opportunity to go there, and obviously, get seen by Steve Weinberger, see some of the, big names that were present at that gym during the course of the week. What has this experience been like for you?
Well, yeah, that's the word for it, experience. I mean, I've been lucky enough to stay with my buddy Matt over here, and he's been an excellent host. He lives right over by Bev's in Long Island, and we got to spend some time there. Got to see Steve. Like, yeah, I got to do all the shit that you're supposed to do at the New York Pro, which is just, as far as I'm concerned, like 9 months ago I was an amateur, and this was all like far out of reach, not even in my mind. But now I get to do it, and it's like, it doesn't really seem real, but yeah, the whole event, all the people here, everything that's going on, the gravity of the situation is really cool to experience, I guess, and I've been looking forward to it for a long time. So,
well, you certainly impressed during prejudging and really one of the top IFBB Pro events. Good luck tonight in the finals, and thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, man. We'll talk again soon, okay?